Won't it be Ryan the Great? And today we are reacting to the firing of Doc Rivers. The Philadelphia 76ers announced today that they are firing their coach 3 years in. All 3 years, second round exits. This year, blowing a 3-2 lead in the second round of the Boston Celtics. Doc Rivers said he intended to return as Philadelphia 76ers head coach. Obviously, Josh Harris, Daryl Morey, and the crew did not see that. We're going to be getting into the reaction, Sixers going forward, coaching candidates, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to get right into it. But before we get right into it, guys, make sure you subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my Brother Lane the Great vlogs. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Cod Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter at Ryan the Great RTG. And make sure you follow me on Twitch at Ryan the Great Podcast. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the video. So, starting off, we all know Doc Rivers is gone as Philadelphia 76ers head coach. Honestly, this pretty much was expected. From most, I see that some people are a little surprised that the Sixers got rid of Doc Rivers. Honestly, I am not surprised at all. Either the history of blowing 3-1 and 3-2 leads. Now, did it again, and an awful performance from the Sixers in Game 7 did not help. But here's the thing, and I'm just going to say this. It wasn't all his fault. We do understand this. Doc Rivers is just a scapegoat here. In Game 7, the superstars did not show up. Harden, Embiid, and Maxey. They played awful in Game 7. We all understand this. Doc Rivers, I didn't really like the way he was coaching in Game 7. I thought there were some adjustments he could have made. Also, switching on screens on the defensive side of the ball, on the perimeter. I did think that he did a bad job, patching that up. Some adjustments he could have made. But that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, the superstars did not show up. It really is not much of Doc Rivers' fault. It is what it is at the end of the day, because I do think that there are some great candidates out there that we can hire. Obviously, as reported by Adrian Wojnarowski, he said that the Sixers coaching hires will include Mike Budenholzer, Sam Cassell, Mike D'Antoni, Nick Nurse, Frank Vogel, and Monty Williams. I could see it. I could see these candidates, but there's really one that stands out to me, and that is Monty Williams. And I'll tell you guys why in a few minutes. But first off, let's go around and talk about why these other candidates should not really be hired here. And the Sixers need a great coach, in my opinion. They need the best one out there. Monty Williams, in my opinion, is the best one out there. But we can go out and talk about why all this has happened. We'll start off with Budenholzer. Listen, I think that he coached a similar team with the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously you got a superstar in Giannis Antetokounmpo over there, who plays similar to Joel Embiid. But I just don't see it going out in the first round this year. He's under a lot. I really can't see it there. Sam Cassell, not much proven, in my opinion. I don't think that he really deserves the chance to come coach the Sixers. Mike D'Antoni, listen, I do not want D'Antoni at all. I have said this many times over. I do not want Mike D'Antoni coaching this team. He plays no defense, which is something that you need to win in today's NBA. Not like 10 years ago, 7 years ago, where you didn't have to play any defense at all. Or back in God knows when. But anyway, and it's another way to build around Harden. I just hate that. I hate the fact that Daryl Morey has built entirely around Harden this offseason. And then Nick Nurse, a rival coach. I don't really want him. But, to be fair, he has won an NBA championship. But on a serious side, he has regressed in the past few years with the Toronto Raptors roster looking better over the past few years. Obviously, losing Kawhi Leonard definitely was not great with that. But, they just couldn't find a way to win with the roster that he had, which I thought was a pretty good roster. And that's this kind of Rivers' problem here. He couldn't find a way to win with a good roster, if not a great roster. So I really don't see it as kind of just hiring the same person, just with less championship aspirations, I guess that's if you want to say that. And then Frank Vogel. I mean, once again, another NBA champion. But he's supposed to be one of the best defensive coaches in the NBA, and he had the Lakers as like a bottom 5 team in defense. I can't really blame him too much for that, just because of the fact that the Lakers team was not constructed to play any defense at all. So you can't really blame that for him there. But honestly, all of his coaching credibility has kind of gone through the roof. And then Monty Williams. I mean, I really love Monty Williams. I mean, obviously did not win the 2021 NBA Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks. But Coach of the Year 2 years ago. Best record in the NBA. Has been to an NBA Finals. Has coached guys like Devin Booker, like Chris Paul, like Kevin Durant. If you want to throw DeAndre Ayton in there, fine. I mean, I could really see it. I think the best coach, honestly, on the board right now, I would honestly do it. I mean, I'm just saying. I like Monty Williams to hire. I mean, I do think he would help with the pick and roll because they have done it. He did it in Phoenix with Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. I feel like that could work if James Harden does return to the Sixers. But we'll have to see. But I think, the dregs to this situation is getting rid of Daryl Morey. I'll just lay it out there right there. The Sixers need to get rid of Daryl Morey. Let me tell you why. He's so in love with Harden that he's not thinking about the team. PJ Tucker he brought in. Supposed to be really great. The playoffs. He was shooting awful from the 3. And then Daniel House had one good game in the playoffs, and Doc Rivers gave up on him early in the regular season. He brought in those guys because they played with Harden in Houston. We were basically becoming the Philadelphia Rockets. And not realizing that James Harden is, 34, 33 years old, somewhere around there. And then not realizing that you have an MVP candidate and now MVP, Joel Embiid, who is the best player on your team and, arguably the best player in the NBA right now. Really doesn't make that much sense why you wouldn't build around him instead of building around Harden. I don't see it at all, but I think Daryl Morey needs to go with Doc Rivers because, the decision-making, I believe, has not been great from Morey. He also gave up to get Harden, Curry, 2 first-round picks. We don't have a pick this year. Seth Curry, who I thought was a great three-point shooter, and something that we lacked in games this season was, in playoff games this season, was three-point shooting. Andre Drummond, a great rebounder. I'm not saying that I actually really do like Paul Reed, but Andre Drummond, he was grabbing 20 boards a night, and now all of a sudden he's playing like a bum. So, I don't know what to tell you guys, but I think Daryl Morey's got to go. That's it. But that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother Lynn the Great blogs. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Cod Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter at Ryan the Great RTG. And make sure you follow me on Twitch at Ryan the Great Podcast. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.